What's up, everybody? Giving you the quick update. Nick here from Cranky Yankee F1. We're at the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm going to give you FP1 updates at Spa. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. I'll be showing some different graphic packs and stuff along the way. If there's something that catches your eye that you like, let me know. Okay, so paperwork out of the way. We've got Sebastian Vettel qualifying first at 144, spot 574. Leclerc just behind him. The low downforce philosophy of Ferrari is really going to help here, as you guys probably know, Monza as well. So this is going to be two back to pretty big weekends for Ferrari. So again, this is early, and they're running on both 20 laps, but just let's keep that in mind. Also, Mercedes is on mediums, but let's keep going. Verstappen is in third. Alex Albon looked really good, just a couple, a tenth behind his teammate. So not quite, but just behind his teammate, not much behind him. So this was a really good showing for Albon. Again, it's early. I expected a bigger gap. He's testing out on 44 laps, not one lap speed. So Albon's right behind Verstappen. Way too early to try to compare Gasly's performance, but it is a good start for Albon in fourth right now in FP1. So you got the Mercs in fifth and sixth, Bottas just above Hamilton. Again, they're on mediums. Everyone else in the top 10's on softs. Lance Stroll in seventh, running the least amount of laps at 16, I believe the least amount. He's tied with Hamilton. Actually ran on 16 laps as well. He had some major problems. The Mercs are on. They're using their actual new engine, and I'll actually go through some of the grid penalties because there's quite a few. But Hamilton had some telemetry problems, and he also had a throttle problem. So he's running 16 laps just because he's had some issues. Bottas had to pick up the pace, so he's running on the most amount of laps in the top 10 at 25. So like I said, Lance Stroll in 7th, Daniel Ricciardo in 8th, Sergio Perez in 9th, and Carlos Sainz in 10th. So I'm live tweeting out some of this stuff. So make sure to follow Cranky Yankee F1. Some of the things I was talking about in the live tweets, we're getting a lot of impressions already, just about 1,000. So the interesting thing was, even looking at all this, Carlos Sainz has more points than Fernando Alonso ever did at his comeback or at his time in the past 3 or 4 years with McLaren. He's already got more by Spa than he had Alonso had all year. I'm not saying anything other than that. I think it's important to call that out. So the little stuff I'm going to give you guys the commentary on. The other thing to point out. So it's good to see the two racing points in the top 9. The other thing to point out is Latifi. Who's second in F2, I believe, 30-something points behind, is actually a few tenths a 1/10 above Kubica. So again, not saying much other than calling that out. It's important to remember they could be testing for that. Kubica himself hasn't really talked about where he's going to be. Russell essentially confirmed that he'll be at Williams. Williams hasn't really said anything about it, but he kind of cavalierly said it, and I think it'd be insane to get rid of him. So that's basically done. But I do want to call that out. Latifi is a couple tenth, nothing spectacular, but he is a 10th ahead. If I pull up the results, so you've got Nicholas Latifi, who again is in second in Formula 2, is just slightly above Kubica. So whatever that means to you, I just want to go ahead and note it. But go ahead and follow us on the Cranky Yankee Twitter account. I'll be sure to pick up the tweets as the free practice session go along. If you probably can imagine, FP1's pretty boring. So they're just controlling their tires. They're, like I said, Mercs on 2 mediums. Let's get to the penalties. So I actually tweeted this out. So I'll actually go to the tweet. So the new combustion engines. So the grid penalties are Alex Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, Nico Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, and Daniel Kvyat. And one of the things I was thinking about was maybe this is better. Maybe this is better for Albon. Like the fact of having not to deal with the stress. Essentially, he's gonna have to deal with that anyway at some point, but with Albon having this grid penalty, does this let him just drive at least his first one, get the first one under his belt? But I said all this before the actual action had really gone on, so he already looks pretty good. I think he's responding to the stress well, but he looks good. Worth noting the Latifi thing. You got Lance Stroll to the 2 racing points in the top 9. And this really should favor Ferrari. That's the most simple way to put this, looking at their top end speed. It's, again, like I said, a low downforce philosophy. But those are the quick notes. These are the top 10s, and those are the quick the things to kind of see. There were no major incidents, a couple spins, Gasly of note, but yeah, there's a couple incidents. I think a racing point, might have been Sergio Perez lost his engine cover, but Hamilton was having some issues. Probably the only thing to note, didn't really get to run much. Valtteri had come out in an interview and was saying, like, especially right before the race, but he was saying this was a big burden off my shoulder. So a lot of people are saying maybe he wasn't so sure about his spot, which is kind of surprising. And I think that will, as I've talked about in other videos, I think that'll lead to an even stronger Valtteri in the next here in the next race up in Spa and then in Monza too. So look up. I hope for a breakout performance of the Ferraris. Let's hope they keep this pace. We've seen this before in Baku, where they had it and kind of went away. Bahrain too, which is unfortunate for Leclerc. But I would love to see both Ferraris, especially Vettel. I would love to see Charles actually come out and just crush it. So things are going to change massively with the Mercs running on a soft here in the next session. So be on the lookout for that. You didn't miss much. The only thing that's worth noting is racing points look pretty good, and Albon is already driving pretty well, is responding to the pressure. And Latifi stuff, let's see how it develops. But George Russell just hanging out. I tweeted, he got quoted as saying, I don't know, I was in the toilet. So he's having a fun weekend. He got really sick with Alex Albon over in training last week. So point is, I'm going to try to keep this short. Just want to give you guys a quick update. Added the little bonus stuff they're not talking about on the actual commentary itself if you're watching F1 TV, and some people aren't talking about just the little nuances. So make sure to check out this channel, this YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, and I'll make sure to give you all the little nuances. Maybe you want to know, maybe not, but this is what it's here for. So let me know if you have any feedback, and we'll see you guys in the next practice session.